Hello and welcome.
Hello.
So let me go ahead and
We made it.
yeah, we did.
Been a while.
I know it's been a hot minute. Before we get right into it, I would like to bring the meditation of singing bowl to clear our space and energy and get started.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I just want to say that my computer is probably broke on the other side. And so I apologize for the delay. It just looks like I might be in this corner for a little bit until I figure out my new situation. Um,
It
yeah,
seems to work fine with you there.
it works fine, but I have like my old mic. I don't know if you guys can see it. And my my setup is not right. This is like just basics. Yeah. Thank you all for being patient.
So, is what just came in the chat current? Is Shabaka saying hi like now, or is that from the other night?
No, that's now. It's
That night?
6:20, or I
Okay.
don't know what time you're seeing it. So yeah,
Right.
hi Shabaka, welcome back.
We had a little confusion Friday night, and okay, great. Good to see you. Hope all's
Mhm.
well in your current corner of the world.
Yeah, how was your date?
Yeah, you had a movie date.
Yeah. So that's okay to see none too. I'm assuming that's like a comedy. You have a
Yeah, the
dinner.
last few days, actually Friday is when Mercury stationed retrograde, and I mean computers have just been whack.
The nun is horror. Oh,
Oh, a scary nun.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That
Um,
reminds me of that movie, The Shining. I don't know why there were no nuns in that movie, but it was pretty scary.
demon named Valak. Wow, I'm gonna have to look that up now. The nun too. um. Oh yeah. So you were saying something about like the Virgo new moon, and
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
yes. So, depending on where you are on the globe, it was between Thursday and Friday at 21 degrees of Virgo, and is considered called the harvest moon. You know, Virgo is all about separating the wheat from the chaff, right? Very efficient energy.
Hmm.
So I don't know if anybody's been experiencing like cleaning out and finishing tasks on their list. Virgos love lists of lists.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so this is a really good energy for, depending on where you are, fall cleaning or spring cleaning. I know here on the East Coast, there's a good amount of ragweed blooming and fall allergies in the air. So that creates a lot of extra dust. And, even though I feel like I just did this recently, today there was still, a lot of pollen and dust on the doors and everything outside. So it's a real good time for, setting into motion new intentions for new projects. Certainly, Virgo being an earth sign, it's about gardening, specifically, like herbs. It is the healer. So, any kind of gardening herbs with the intention of them being healing. Garlic is a very easy herb to grow. Um,
Let me tell you a story about garlic. So my mama had a vegetable garden in the back, and she said, "Go ahead and pull out some green onions." And so I was cutting into the like the garden, right? And if you guys don't know, garlic looks like green onions, and so I was chopping the tops off of the garlic, and my mom was like, "What
what
did you
are
do?"
you doing?
I said, "What is this? Is green onion? No, that's garlic." And so yeah, garlic looks like green onion, guys. Okay, that was the moral of the story.
Well, and every region has different length of time for gardens. If you're going into a cooler part of your year where you live, things like lettuce and broccoli and peas and any kind of parsley. You can grow parsley while snow is on it. It loves the cold. Some of these things sort of peter out as it gets hot. So, I just think of this time of year as, it's the harvest from whatever you've done for the summer, whether that's physically in the ground in a garden or in your life as far as projects and goals are concerned. This is sort of the culmination of your efforts over the last quarter. We're coming up on the 23rd would be the fall equinox. So, this is when the light coming down on the earth changes depending on where you are. And so it's a definitely shift in the year. And so Virgo is all about the servant. Um, you know, when weather turns, there's a more need in the community for people to need heat. Um, I guess I think of more activity as kids get back into school. There's more regular routine. The schedules sort of come into order, whereas during summer they can be all kind of scattered and people traveling and going different directions. So September is kind of the month where everybody's kind of like shifting. My father had a Virgo moon. He was a Pisces, but he was very Virgoian. And I don't know why this just popped into my head, but he used to talk about, as he was little, and he was born in like 1925, that this time of year is when his mother would change rugs. So, like, there were summer rugs and winter rugs. And so, I mean, this was back when there was no air conditioning and, heat was by wood stove or, just a lot different than it is now. But he can remember, like, the house would get swept out and a different atmosphere for going into the fall and winter. The mythology associated with Virgo is the story of Persephone. And Persephone was the daughter of Demeter, and she was kidnapped by Hades, which is Pluto, and taken to the underworld to be his bride. And Demetra was so furious that her daughter was kidnapped that she made the earth barren. So everything went dark and barren, no crops, no growth, and darkness came over the earth. So Zeus stepped in to negotiate an agreement between Hades and Demetra that he would allow the Persephone, the daughter, to come above Earth for 6 months of the year to visit with her mom and then go back to the underworld the other 6 months of the year. So that is kind of a general mythology of how we come to have seasons. Now, of course, there's parts of the world where it's summer all year. So, but that's just kind of the nature of Virgo is cycle. It's cycles of time, cycles of nature. It's a mutable earth energy ruled by Mercury. So the same day we had a new moon energy, we had Mercury stationing direct. And I don't know about anybody else, but all around me and hearing people and my own personal experience, computers have just been whack. Um, I made the mistake, and I'm an old astrologer. I should have known better, but I try not to let astrology, really totally rule my world. But here's a great example. I was out of contract with my phone for several months, and it was before Mercury went retrograde. It was maybe 10 days before, and in the early part of August. And I changed the manufacturer of the phone that I've always had and my carrier. And it has been the biggest debacle ever. I ended up having to send that phone back because I would go in here and nothing would happen. You want to push to see an email or push to see something, nothing, frozen. I went through hours on the line with, them remoting in and they, oh, your phone has a manufacturer's defect, and sent me a new one, sent that one back. Damn if yesterday it was doing the same thing on the Gmail part where it wouldn't open, it just freeze. So then I think it's the type of phone. It's a Pixel 7, and I think it like updates Chrome, and while it's doing that, you can't do anything on it. So things like that, having to do things over again, is very typical of Mercury retrograde. We have a lot of planets retrograde, even though Mercury went direct with the new moon. There's Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, outer planets, all still retrograde. And that really makes things feel sluggish and, things just not clicking. You might feel a little out of sync, and Mercury is a personal planet. It's closer to us here on Earth. So it does, with it stationing direct, I think it's the 28th of September when it gets back to the point where it went retrograde. So we're still in what would be called the shadow. Did you go ahead?
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, so I have a dental appointment scheduled on Tuesday. Do you think I should go for it? Because this is my second time rescheduling.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't think she's gonna fuck up my tooth?
Teeth are Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Bones and teeth are ruled by Saturn. And so what, are you just getting them cleaned? Or you
No,
actually,
I'm getting a crown.
oh, you are?
Yeah, that's like some, I'm gonna be a
So,
toothless girl.
so a typical expression of that would be the crown is delayed getting made, right?
Okay.
So, but I wouldn't be concerned about it. Hi, JK. How are you?
Hmm.
Um, I was reading with Shabaka. The deal with mom was okay.
She's talking about Demeter and
Oh, got it. Okay.
what's his name?
Hades or Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so originally, so Virgo is represented by the Virgin. It's connected. We're doing good, JK. We've had some technical difficulties with computers, but we're here now.
I want to interject. Like, this has been a really hard new moon. Like, you know how typical new
Yes.
moons are supposed to be like new beginnings and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Whenever it hit, I think the peak of it, that's when shit went downhill.
Well, I explained it as it just seemed like this general people on edge. It just felt
Mhm.
very edgy,
Yeah, snappy.
snappy, critical.
Yeah,
Virgo,
like a Virgo. Like
Virgo criticizes a lot and complains. We all have our moments.
yeah, I guess we're all going through the Virgo energy. So yeah.
Honestly, I mean, any kind of astrological signature you want to talk about, the last 2 weeks have felt kind of mean, kind of struggling, just struggling.
Picky people's personalities, like where did that come from? Like where do you come off and all this and that. So
And
yeah.
on the road, people have been, just like road rage, it seems like more than usual.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so hopefully that smooths out as we get into so tonight in just a few minutes, our moon will be going into Scorpio. And, you know, that's an energy where people are just looking for deeper meaning. So whatever's going on in your life, personal or, um, in your environment, I do sense a more spiritual questioning. Like people are thinking deeper. Virgo will bring that out. Virgo is very spiritual. It's the virgin, the fair maiden. I mean, it's about innocence and purity and angels and wanting to be practical and serve. It's all about service to humanity. So I think it's going to be interesting to see as we get into the fall and each one of these outer planets starts to station direct how that plays out in your life. And I think how it will play out are seeds that you've been sowing will manifest. Where right now everything feels delayed, nothing's really happening that quickly. um, you have to be really careful about what you think, because the thing you fear the most and what you've been thinking, sure enough, will happen. So try to be mindful of our thoughts, that we're only thinking good things to manifest good things, because we're sort of in this shift of negativity, and it's easy to get influenced by our environment and people around us that are not on a spiritual path, wanting to like fear monger. I don't know about anybody else, but I know in office situations, um, you've got to just got to ignore the Debbie Downers. And try to be grateful for whatever delay it was, or say you had a plan and it had to change and you feel disappointed. you know there's always what Scorpio makes us see is that deeper meaning, that underlying energy that is not in your face. It's more subtle. It's more penetrating. We want to know, what's that real reason behind that delay. Or yes, JK, it is great for manifestation. And that's why it's so important that we really be mindful of the words we speak, because we're in the days and age of instant manifestation. So
Well, I have to say that I was thinking about an old like friend of mine, and he was like a boss, boss slash friend. And then right in front of me, as I turned into a parking lot, I saw a guy that looked just like him. And I was like, wow, that
yeah,
is so crazy. And I know that he is not in my corner. He's in Alabama somewhere. And I
yeah,
was like, wow, that dude looks exactly like him. I was like,
no,
universe, are you funny? Like, am I like manifesting this instantly in front of me where there's a likeness of that person?
I think that we're getting more and more assimilated between dimensional time.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our minds, where we have a lot of different voices and trying to distinguish what is ego and what is psychic and, what's intuition, it's that quiet, still, resonant voice that manifests, you know. And we've had a series of pretty strong storms blow through the East Coast. There's another one, it is hurricane season, and another one's kind of off there in the Atlantic. We may or may not see part of this week. Um, but in one like 2 weeks ago, I think it was after our last chat, um, my dog's baby pool disappeared. Okay. And it was a pretty substantial baby pool. I had to borrow a truck to get it home. It was deep enough for them to float with their little life vests on. And I mean, it wasn't like a little flimsy blow up plastic baby
Mhm.
pool.
Mhm.
And it was gone. That, that morning after that storm, this area looked like a war zone. 40 feet of my neighbor's tree was down in my yard. It just looked like a twister came through, and it took real heavy, big potted plants and just blew them, several feet away. And the baby pool was gone. And I was like, damn, I guess it's up in a tree. And how in the world would I get down from a tree? And it was one of those things where it's not going to make or break my life, but my dogs did like it. It was fun. And I was like, damn, I wished I had thought about putting it, weighing it down somehow, but it never occurred to me.
Mhm.
So I had a dream that this blue baby pool was up against a fence. And I mean, I've looked around this neighborhood. I've asked people I don't even know, have you seen a blue baby pool? I really kind of wanted it. And yesterday, I'm out in a side of my house that I rarely go to, and my neighbor says, "Are you missing a baby pool?" And I was like, "Yeah," and it was up against his fence. So I did get it
Oh.
back. It's been gone for like 2 weeks. So I did shove it in the shed because we were supposed to have more wind coming up. I don't know what made me think of that. To have anything to do with what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking
Oh,
about,
no, it was because I
yeah,
was
manifesting what your vision, or
right, right.
yeah, it's very sensitive times right now. It's really, really weird. And that goes for fears. So, if there's, like a debt or something, or like a divorce or some kind of legal proceeding that has been going on that you've been worried about or putting energy into, every time the worry comes up, we need to, control, alt, clear, just think good outcome from all of it, because it just like intuition and desire can manifest, so can fear. So that I think is what we need to all be very aware of. More so is not to harp on our fears, and when we do, it's only natural to, you know, what would be a really simple one would be, oh, you've got a road trip to take, and they're calling for a bad storm, and being fearful of, am I going to get caught in a bad storm? And as soon as that doubt or fear comes up, to immediately like recognize, like, no, travel fine, everything's clear, I'm where I'm supposed to be, I'm protected, safe. Whatever the affirmations are that help you feel more secure.
Mhm.
So these are times that I think you were talking about the person that you were thinking of, and then they manifest. These are definitely times for making inspirational kinds of connections with people, new hobbies, maybe just something more closer to our hearts. Um, I had a group of friends that basically retired to Florida, and they have been in their 80s and upper 80s, for several years. I've lost touch with them over the years, And in my phone came up an obituary of this lady who, I was 17. Now that I think about this, isn't this interesting? So I was 17. She was a neighbor, and she introduced me to my astrology teacher.
Oh.
And so she's been in Florida for about 20 years or so. There's that 20-year mark again.
Hmm.
And yes, she died on August 28th, and a mutual friend sent me her picture and obituary. Well, I hadn't seen her in a long time, and the picture they sent was one of how I remember her,
Hmm.
not aged. And it was really pleasant because I have from, wondered how was she. She had a lot of kids and family around her all the time. So it was kind of like we'd try to talk on the phone and she'd get a zillion interruptions. And it was like, call me when you have time to talk. And that just never really happened. But so interesting how we might be. You and I have been talking about how we're going through kind of the same things, and they are, challenges with other people in the workplace, challenges with just getting stuff done without a myriad of delays and, having to change direction to try something a different way. And I don't know, it almost feels like we're suspended trying to get somewhere. We're not getting there. So,
I think it's going to work itself out. It's really frustrating, but it feels like a temporary pause to do some reflection, but we're not in the clear yet.
yeah.
That's what this feels like.
And Virgo is the alchemist, right? So
Mm.
the alchemist is all about um, commanding time and space. You might read a book on quantum physics, or I loved that video link you sent me. What was it? It's called Deep Dive or something, but it was talking about the trials that we go through, that the universe sends situations our way to kind of test
Like,
us.
yeah, constantly being tested to see if we pass the test, because what we know is true in our hearts, we don't actually, portray in our daily life. And so it's kind of like a reminder to keep working at ourselves until we get to that point, and then we bitch and complain, why is this and why is that? And well, it's because it's not your true intent, or is not your true, uh, you know, um, I guess, reason or motivation to do something. So it was really interesting because universe knows what you really want, and I feel that we're constantly being tested by many people, many situations. Have we really learned? And then if the ultimate thing is to, be rich, or to have a boyfriend or a husband, are we settling for less to get to those, you know, um, you know,
Perceptions.
yeah, those things, and so there's a lot, and a lot of times, people are not being for real with themselves. It's like, well, they're okay. Luna, quiet.
She's having a time.
She hears a dang dog outside. Calm
She's
down, honey.
she's the vicious watchdog.
Yeah, she thinks she is.
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for joining us.
So yeah.
Um, so the other part of Virgo in mythology is she was originally named Astrea, which there's a plant called Astrea that's kind of interesting too. But anyway, she was a daughter of Zeus's, and she remained pure and innocent, and was said to have lived during the golden age of mankind. And as dark or evil elements of mankind started taking control and descend into the evil or the corruption, she fled from the earth for good. So it's that I think that's where um, she gets associated with angels. Virgo gets associated with angels because she departed the earth, and that was said to be the end of paradise on earth. And on that note, there's been a lot of philosophers over the decades about, that this is hell. What we're going through is hell. When people, want to have theological debates about heaven and earth, or, different theologies about purgatory, or, these different philosophies, really when you think about it, any near death experience that you've ever read about or heard people talk about, they talk about it's a beautiful, loving uh, feeling wherever they go once the soul leaves the body. And there's psychiatrists that say that's a deprivation of oxygen in the brain. But whatever your theory is, and there could be many, who knows, but it's the idea of being grateful for these challenges here, and that is what gives the velocity to move forward in time, and not staying stuck in the funk, in the I know I refer to my neighbor quite a bit. He is a Virgo. He's 88. He's last 2 years had lots of health problems. And recently, he just, I think I told you, acts like he's just given up. He just doesn't want to fight anymore. He doesn't feel energetic. He doesn't want to eat, blah, blah, blah. So he goes to the hospital again the other night, and which is becoming kind of a regular trip for him. He just gets frustrated. He's like, well, I'm going to the hospital. And they hook him up to a bag of fluids, and he comes out and he feels great for a few days. And he, trying to connect for him that just because you don't feel like eating doesn't mean you have to eat to stay hydrated and have energy, to just sit and deteriorate. So I think there's a lesson in that, because when, he talks about, I don't want it, and I'm like, there's a lot of things we don't want to do, but we do, because we're trying to we have hope. That's another thing about
Well,
Virgo.
that's actually a common thing, because I have like a coworker of mine. His mother has not Alzheimer's. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, and she refuses to eat. She doesn't want to eat. So I don't know what's up with.
That just makes every system in the body shut down, and it is part of aging, and it's all, the chemistry in our body about um, uh, having energy, and I think what it is maybe as we age, our interest in food changes. Like we, you know, um, eat to live and not live to eat, sort of thing, where the food industry is bagillions of dollars for foodies, and all kinds of branches of food, which is a very Virgo industry.
Mhm.
Virgo also rules small animals. So, during this time, you may have adopted a small animal, or, had some interaction with a small animal. Um, so, um, I love Virgo energy because it's very practical, and so it always brings you back to square one, where you might go down a rabbit hole or waste time on some Neptunian illusion, or, Virgo always brings us back to what is pragmatic, you know,
Mhm.
and sort of the soul of the matter. Its spiritual connection does connect us to why are we here, what is our service to mankind, because it is all about service for Virgo. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've been having these discussions with people recently about how service has changed in our society. It seems like post COVID, no one gives a damn about service or something. It's sort of a crapshoot of whether or not you're going to get service, whether people are showing up to their jobs to be in service. And there's this sort of aloofness, I guess, throughout parts of society. And I won't say that as a blanket statement, but certainly people see, the way they've done the automatic checkouts, right? You're not a lot of the AI, right? We're not people and communing with other human beings as much anymore. It's more, you're digital, you're getting a service to bring it to you, or all these different sort of detached kinds of ways of doing things that have changed, and it changes how we interact with other humans. And so what was I seeing recently about uh, a segment of the population, you know, not being all human, right? So, you know, then that brings up like, robots and I think it was an article about cloning and how to tell if something is a clone. And that's all Uranus aspects, what we've been through with the development through the internet of science and science fiction
Oh,
and
you mean that little alien thing that came out?
yeah.
Just saying.
There was some film I saw a guy working a food truck like in New Mexico, and he was being interviewed by a reporter, and she was asking him like, well, they actually had a film of this ship of some sorts, dangling around, and he was like talking like, oh yeah, we see orbs, we see that stuff all the time. I mean, it's just like regular stuff in their life. And so that might be kind of an interesting evolution as we get through the next bit of time. And when I'm saying bit of time in my mind, astrologically, I'm thinking between now and 2026, we're in this real shift of, Pluto squarely gets into Aquarius this time next year, and we'll be there for like more than 200 years. So, these are huge transitions going on in society. And I think we just all have to be very upbeat about those changes and try not to get down or scared about them, but try to just think positive how you would like your life to be in a evolved humanity. And
I just read an article today before I got on, and it was about like, these nonprofit organizations, they're no longer able to serve because their rent is too high.
yeah, yeah,
And I just recently signed a petition about them raising taxes on property, like just like any kind of like tax period in our state. I was like, yeah, we all need a tax-free state. And he was like, yeah, we can't live here, right? And you're like, yeah, because they've been jacking cost of living up here like tremendously. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a spike up. So it was really nice to see people in the community
right,
to get petitions out there and to really protect the people's
yeah,
interests. And so I just know that Washington is really good at advocating for fighting that in a governmental like system. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it was refreshing to see, like, she had all the papers out there lined up for me. And I was
Did
like,
you
okay.
see the video about she's a princess of royal descent in Hawaii, and
Hmm.
she was um, giving a talk about how um, Hawaii becoming a state of the United States was never, whatever happened, her ancestors were deeded back the land. And so Hawaii is its own, I don't know if republic is the right word, but it's not a state of the United States, technically, is what
Oh.
she was saying. And that what happened in Hawaii with the fires and lack of response of the various authorities has prompted this movement of independence. And she was holding up constitution papers about you know they can't charge us taxes. And I wish I could give you the link. Probably if you just googled recent princess talking about the Constitution in Hawaii, it would probably come up. But she's from a long line of royalty in the Hawaiian tribes. And
Hmm.
so I think we'll see more of that. Texas has been threatening for a long time to secede from the Union. And, that is a prediction from Megatrends 2000 that we would have hubs and regions, state lines and things will morph. Um, the Mississippi River will actually separate the halves of the United States. So it's exciting times to be alive. you know.
That's a lot of change. Do you think it has anything to do with the Pluto return and the
Well,
United States?
that is coming up this fall in the United States chart is the Pluto return.
Hmm.
So yes, I mean that's like total changes. It's like the Tower card. And And I think that maybe the isolation of COVID and the power that was wieled, in a very suppressive way may have triggered people to start paying better attention, to what rights they have, and that we've been whittled away at for decades. And maybe something like that had to happen for people to start asking questions and getting involved. You said something about people involved on a local level. That's predicted, that the different hubs and regions will have local leadership, not these mass, over encompassing um, 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 suppressive kinds of government. I will say this, that I'm not far from DC, and you know I know that we've heard in the past about the federal government shutting down because they don't have any money left. And somehow they always manage to pass a bill to raise the ceiling and keep going. But there's a reality that the federal government will shut down. And it needs to. It has suppressed people, and that way these individual communities and regions can self-govern, and things like taxes and regulations that have inhibited people from um, exploring. And I remember Yeah, I've had my tangos with the IRS all my life. That's like bad karma in my chart. And one of the things that I remember saying to one of the agents one time was, I never agreed to study the reproductive, cycles of fruit flies. You know, I never agreed to study the carbon monoxide that was released by cows, what I mean, or whatever. So it's been somewhat of a big Ponzi scheme where they take your money and they use it for their own entertainment. And that all cycles like that have to rebirth those.
Well, did you see that one link I sent you about that thing that was being brought up in Senate about those child book bans?
Yes.
Did you believe like how that dude was, how he read that freaking thing?
And I mean, I don't love him, but he's a good guy. He's an old country guy.
I mean, but he pretty much said, "Well, what is it? What is it that you want me to do?" And as well, they were
Uh,
talking about like, well, we need this. I was like, really, you need that? A child book?
well, there was a little clip about Walt Disney I watched where all of the phallic symbols in the cartoons, like that were done in shadows, and you don't see them until somebody points them out to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what we all, like children, have been brought up on. And it's really unbelievable what we have accepted and without question. And I think when that guy just saying, well, should parents have a say in what books their children reads? And both those guys, they really couldn't give a straight answer.
No, they were just like, I don't know what they were trying to do. But I mean, really, they thought that it was okay for a
A
librarian.
girl, a girl at work the other day, I forget what provoked her. She has a 20-year-old girl out of school in college, a 17-year-old son who's in high school, and her daughter, I think, is 14. So she's got three young adults as children. She's a single mom. And
Mm-hmm.
she's always, there's always something going on. She was a coach for a long time with different sports, to be involved with them or whatever. So she's always been really involved at the school and the education and taking care of her kids. And she wanted, her question to me was, and of course it blew right by me because, and I don't know, it maybe someone in the audience knows. She's like, when did we get to this point of worrying about our pronouns? Because now in business, when you see someone's signature block, they'll have like a string of pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at me and she goes, when did we get to this? How did this happen? And I'm like, it blew right by me. I think that whatever little corner I was operating out of, it just blew right by me. I don't know, but it really is kind of ridiculous.
So I think it's, and I don't mean to talk about certain like affiliations or anything like that, but in my work situation, you have the option if you like to express the use of the gender pronouns.
Well,
Um,
I guess it's very Pluto that sex has come up in our society in your face, right?
mhm.
Like, I guess in my generation, nobody cares who you're sleeping with. We really don't care who you sleep with. I just don't want it in my face. It's not anything about an opinion of whether it should be or not be, but here's a prime example of what's happened in our society, I would say over 5 generations or 50 years. Back in the late 60s, there was a movie with Faye Dunaway and Steve McQueen called The Thomas Crown Affair. Then in the late 80s, that movie was redone with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. And I love that movie. It's a very cool movie. And I went, when I saw the new one, I didn't realize it was a remake of an old one. And when I realized it, I went and I found the one done in the 60s. And when you watch the two movies, it really is a statement of where we've come as a society, because the original movie wouldn't put the nudity and sex in your face, but the way it was filmed alluded to what was going to be happening and allowed your imagination to fill in the gaps. Fast forward, and the remake, it's in your face, you know, boobs, ass, tongue, everything in your
Mhm.
face. So that's very Plutonian. And I guess the transits of Pluto over the last 50 years, something has dug up, like there's nothing sacred really about sex anymore. I mean, they've put it all out there. There's nothing left to your imagination, you know. And now I guess because it's out there, everybody wants to debate it. And I guess, I think sex is more interesting when it leaves more to your imagination. I don't really particularly want someone to tell me how they have their sex. You know what I mean? It's like I think we all would do well with a little more creativity in our brains. But
Mhm.
um, that's one observation that I've made, and there's a lot of emotion behind it. I mean, there's younger generations that really want to tell you what they like, how they like it, and you're a bad person if you don't agree with it. And it's like, it's not about agreeing or not agreeing. It's just, I'm more private than that. I think it should be more private. And so it's an interesting thing, how we've come to this whole, gender reassignment and AI, taking over jobs from humans, and humans being hybrids and clones. So we're living in a very interesting fishbowl of sorts. And I think that the more we can work on our own sense of resonance, what do we resonate to that makes us hum with a vibration that is in gratitude, in tolerance. I mean, no matter what you see or believe, you know, when I say stay neutral, it really is just about, um, allow people to be what they want to be as long as it doesn't push your boundaries. And maybe that's why a lot of this has had to come out in the open, is just that, boundaries. And Saturn and Pluto, that conjunction is all about boundaries. Um, this whole lockdown mentality and stuff we've been through in the last 3 years, don't you think people as a society have come out like, big government's pushing my boundaries, uh, we're here to be free people. We're not here to be in FEMA camps. All right. So
I agree. There's a lot of stuff that's going on the media about, you know,
there
Biden
is.
and stuff that he's doing. And one of the comments was that, here's a president who spends like 40% of his time on vacation. Like, seriously, are we like in that position to go on vacations? Like, especially during like a so-called recession period, like really?
I saw some report about, all the millions of dollars in properties that he owns, and like on a senator and a vice president's salary. There's no way someone could own all of
Oh
that.
yeah, and then what's her name? Who's that lady, Speaker of the House? Pelosi?
Oh, right. Yeah. She's
Yeah, like
gone. She's
She
gone.
is like, okay, so let's say she got paid like 200K, for her position, but like she's worth like millions, and
And back in the beginning, like with George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, they actually came out more poor after their term as presidency than when they went in.
mhm,
And something happened along the way where it got away from we the people and became uh, I have a big ego and want to be in charge and have a lot of money and toys and screw you, the people, you know. And there's a lot of conjecture about when that turn, when that shift happened. And you might get a lot of different opinions about that. But it certainly is interesting because the bottom line is history does repeat itself,
mhm,
and that every nation has its revolutions about every 250 years. The United States is going through theirs. France has been going through theirs. Um, there's been some massive volcanic activity in various countries. So it's like the earth is in some sort of shift and rebellion. It's almost as if Mother Earth is um, step, being the disciplinarian, like you abuse and abuse and abuse for so long is like poking a bear. And then finally the bear is going to bite your head off, Uh,
mhm.
I think it's important, again, for all of us to have our practices that keep us feeling grounded and calm, because it'd be very easy to get very freaked out about a lot of the things going on. And then, as more comes out about uh, manipulations from higher ups, you know, then we all feel sort of bamboozled. And so that is Neptune, right? Neptune spins an illusion. And as we go through these aspects of Pluto and Neptune and Uranus, I think there's a lot of secrets to come out that will be very surprising. And, there was something recently about the electric car and how, they finally figured out that it has nothing to do with the green movement or being more environmental, because those batteries have to go to the landfill and they're almost worse than before without them. So
Mhm.
it's almost like everything has to play out for people to see how it plays out, so then we can change, we can modify whatever that position is. um,
Yeah, there's
there's
so much that I feel like not one person can do everything. It's going to take a good number of people all over the world um, to make a united effort to overcome like the stuff that is like happening. You know,
Well,
um,
and I think it's going to be a very exciting end of the year quarter, because at the end of the month, around September 29th, we have an Aries full moon.
mhm.
Aries is ruled by Mars. It's the insulin child, right?
Isn't that
So,
the only planet that's like, well, other than Mercury, that's like gone direct or it is direct?
oh, yes, 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 Mars. But there was this other thing being dissected online about pictures being shown of Mars in these like um, these module things, these robotic, they're a robot that takes specimens, right? And that there was a fly on it, and there are no flies on Mars. So again, here's this Neptunian illusion of, things are not as they appear. And what
What about, have you heard of this dude named Dyke? What was his? I can't remember his first name. But anyways, he believes that there is like this portal on the moon, like and that's where the souls go once they pass. Yeah, and he feels that the moon is just like, I don't know, maybe a hologram, or I feel like the moon is real,
yeah,
but he is saying that there is like some structure on there that collects the souls. And so you know how the
interesting.
Buddhist people, they always believe in reincarnation and blah blah blah, but it's like it's like a soul sucker, right? Like when you die, no souls travel to a different dimension. Yeah. Well, that's what this guy was saying. He says that there's like this the the reptilians are out there to, like, get the souls from the people who pass over. And
Well,
so
and that there are more moons than we are aware.
yeah, but he was there was something about, why does the moon always look the same? What, how come like the position of the moon is um like it never changes, like no matter where we are, it looks, it doesn't rotate, it doesn't revolve, it has like the same markings. You know what I mean? It's like it's always the same no matter where we're positioned on the planet.
It's so interesting to even bring up that discussion, because this is what this is the point we're in our society, is to question all of these stories that we've believed and been told. And what Neptune is in your chart, and like when people are under intense Neptunian transits, it's called the rose colored lenses, right? It makes us see things, ooh, nicely, and like fantasy and fuzzy, and, sort of in a delirium. And then with Neptune oppositions, those glasses come off and you're hit with reality. And I think there's a certain degree of that going on very, 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 very slowly. That, I mean, I've seen more than one source that trials against humanity and international courts are going on. And that these are going to come to light, for all of us to see. And there'll be a lot of people really, really completely shocked, that a segment of government could hurt people. And so it's an interesting time to take notes, meditate, and see what your own psychic inclinations are. If you were to see a story and meditate on it to get, what is your truth? Because that's the other thing. I mean, everybody might have a different idea of what the truth is. But
Mhm.
I think what we're heading into, and overall with the shifts in humanity, is that we all accept each other's truths. There's not this warring, this Mars masculine warring kind of energy where we fight over what our positions are. The shifting of the Earth's axis and coming into a more feminine polarity is all about love and humanity and helping each other. And I'll tell you, this just came to me, but in a real tiny little way, that has happened to me with a neighbor that for years we never spoke. We're diametrically different, and they think I'm crazy as hell, and I think they're crazy as hell, and we've never had two words between us until recently. And when he told me he found my pool, I don't even know what came over me, but I like walked away. I was like, well, let me know if y'all need anything. They're elderly. And in my head after that, I was like, what am I talking about? I've never wanted to help these people. They've been horrible to me, but yet that's what I mean is the shifting of energy will make us all like more forgiving, and
I
more,
have to say that I've had to push myself to be nice,
yeah.
even though that is not my initial response. Um, but after doing it, it does seem to kind of clear up the tension that was kind of there.
Yeah.
So
It's weird,
it's
isn't it?
yeah, it feels good, but the stubbornness or ego within ourselves said like F that, I don't want to do that. But in hindsight, it's probably best to kind of just let it go, you
Well,
know.
I think it's acceptance of others. It's like a tolerance for, you know, if you're estranged from someone, and whatever that, and we have to keep a reality about it because, quite frankly, drugs and alcohol make it easy to estrange from someone because they're not healthy, right? So if we're estranged um, from someone who's got toxic, negative behavior patterns, is that an estrangement or is that a healthy boundary that we just don't want, to be involved with the drama or um, you know, whatever it is that keeps them really difficult. I know I'm less and less tolerant of drama. It really does trigger me when people make drama out of little things.
It's like, honey, are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay, well, it'll be all right. Like, I don't know what you're going off on, but here you should like put something, or give them. It's like here you go. If you're, this will help you make you feel better.
I know.
You know,
It's interesting, and uh, I think when you are metaphysical, these are really, exciting times, but we do have to kind of keep a grounding to ourself of just what's safe because it is sort of volatile out there. Those Uranus transits can be very sudden, they can create, dangerous weather patterns. So there's still that 3D sort of reality of, are you going to go traveling somewhere? Are they calling for a flood watch? I mean, just sort of common sense things. And that unfortunately still keeps us tethered, to the body and the 3D existence, where on a subconscious level, we want to be out there in the ethers, oming and,
it's really interesting how like we're living in our little what you call meat suits and stuff, and then our spiritual selves want to just release everything and see everything from a more global perspective.
right.
You know, like kind of like a doing I forgot what it's called, but conjuring things up like the magician, but within our minds, and then everything is all cohesive and wonderful, and everything is working the way it's supposed to. But in reality, it's like a shit show, and it's like nothing is like computing or working in the way it's supposed to, and so I
Well,
see it a lot,
You
yeah.
know, I think that it's getting easier, when you just make that kind of statement you just did, and having that awareness just makes it a little better each time you're challenged with, did y'all have like a grandmother or mother that used to say it happens in threes, right?
Hmm.
Like, okay, if the car breaks down, then the washer is going to break down, and then you're going to need, you know, X amount of money to get a tree taken down, whatever. It seems like me, in threes, and some kind of Murphy's law. But is that something we manifest out of a deep seated belief system? And now I hear that other people say that now, like if my car will break down or whatever, I try to tell myself it doesn't mean anything. Nothing else has to happen, and just deprogram these stupid little beliefs that we've lived with and dealt with. And I know the couple of days recently at work, it just seemed like it was like one girl was just wound so tight. I mean, she was slamming stuff on the counter and bitching. And I mean, obviously she was going through something. And I just kept telling myself, just back away slowly, just back away slowly. You don't want to get in the middle of that, right? And
Yeah.
something with the actual work was jacked up, and I remember in my head thinking, I feel really grumpy. I don't like feeling this way. And I don't know. It's like then just making that acknowledgement. The next thing I know, several hours later, it's like whatever was bothering me was gone. And I think it's having that sort of watchfulness of your reactions in your mind that control, you know, your steadiness, so to speak. Like instead of getting swept up in that vibe, like you're like back away slowly. You don't need to be swept up there. And sometimes that can feel very isolating. So there's a fine line between feeling isolated but still having a healthy dose of camaraderie or connection to other people.
So, like what you had mentioned, that's exactly what in Buddhist teachings it's called mindfulness. Just being an observer,
Watch,
or have awareness.
watch
Observe and let it
thoughts.
go.
Yeah,
And then don't let it bother you. You
yeah.
know. So, like, if you can manage that, everything else doesn't matter.
And the other part, and it was in the clip you sent me, being grateful for the times when you feel disjointed or upset, like recognizing that feeling. And there's a certain, I think I saw it in the chat. I'm not sure who brought up something about sometimes a delay is, a blessing, or, we
Mhm.
get so controlling about how we think things should be. And then when we just decide that everything is exactly how it should be, and we're just going to do our thing and be grateful and stay as clear as possible, um, and really trust your instincts. Because I think the bizarro kinds of stories that we're being bombarded with, you know, you really have to like use your own brain. We're no longer being fed what you're supposed to think, and I think I told you this morning, I went out early to get coffee and there was this nail salon open. And I was like, oh, it's kind of early on a Sunday morning. Think I'll get my nails done. And so I'm sitting there, and uh, these three girls come in, and they're all just, I mean, just their head buried in their phone. And as the management of the salon was asking them what they wanted or whatever, they would barely look up from their phone to communicate. You're
Oh,
here for a service. What do you want? Communicate it. But people have stayed so dialed into these electronics that it's like basic communication gets challenged. And of course, I left my phone in the car. It's like you're getting your nails done. How are you going to do your phone? You know what I mean?
mhm,
And
mhm,
but that's a difference in generations too. I wasn't brought up on a phone and electronics, so
mhm.
it's easier for me to put them down and harder for me to be so reliant on them. I hate how they've tied us into, text you a security code and to open that magic portal. And what I mean? It's like, but people that are brought up on it don't even think about it. And so, I just wanted, I just watched this. I was just like, gosh, we really need to work on communication. Basic politeness, just basic courtesy.
They weren't brought up on manners like how we know it to be.
Head down, just like this. Someone's speaking to them. They've come
I
in.
didn't like, ma'am, what would you like?
Yeah.
1 second, please.
And then they kind of act annoyed that you're bothering them from their video game or whatever the hell they're doing. What could possibly be that important that you
Well, I
can't?
know that nail artists, they get paid on commission. So it really depends on how many people that come through the door and who's servicing next, because they go in rotation if there's no appointment being made.
Didn't you used to do nails?
Yeah, I know how it works. They get paid pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get 60% and then tips.
Nice.
They don't even have to buy product. The owner, they use that 40%. They collect it from every, nail tech there, and they pay them out, X amount. And I made pretty good damn money doing that.
Yeah.
And most of it was cash, so you can
Right. Well, it just, I think when you just get quiet and have just sort of, the quantum physics saying about linear time has to do with the more you slow down, the more time you have. So if you are going through your days feeling very hurried and stressed out, to try to back that up and slow down and not get that sense of rush, hurry, hurry. And it is true that time seems to flow at your pace and you not being driven by its pace. And that's a hard concept.
Yeah, well, I could use that extra hour. So when's the daylight saving time?
It's not till like November the 5th. It's
Oh
late.
man. Yeah, we need it now.
Well, before we break out the cards, there's one other little weird manipulation that I saw on some report, that the whole time change thing was yet another manipulation to control mass amount of people because it messes with your body clock.
Yeah,
Right.
and it creates more heart attacks and shit.
Yeah. If you are able to keep people from feeling rested and grounded and in control of their own life, you can more easily control them. And I think every state kind of goes through its thing. Some states don't have time change.
Yeah, Arizona doesn't have it.
I don't think Indiana has it either.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was in the legislature in Virginia to get rid of it, but it didn't pass. So, I mean, again, these are those theological debates that'll become more and more prominent as people become more spiritually awakened, more conscientious of their freedom and their time and how we've been, sort of suppressed and manipulated.
Well, I don't know. I could use another hour regardless, or 5 hours.
I do not like the changing of the clocks. By the time I'm acclimated to it, they change it again. And I have a hard time with it. So I will show our guests. This is a very Virgoian tarot deck. It's called the Antique Anatomy Tarot.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what those look like.
And this is about, the herbs that heal. And so let's see. Virgo is the intestines and the nervous system. So, like Virgos typically can have stomach issues from nerves, and some of the herbs that help with that are like ginger and wild yam. Um, but, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So, you get nervous. When a Virgo gets nervous, it quite often comes out in indigestion or digestive issues.
Mm, okay, I had to find that one. So I have Aries up.
Aries, the Virgo new moon. We're kind of in the middle of it right now, and it is
Ooh.
it's in the midst of an Earth trine, which is very fortuitous. I mean, there's an interesting dynamic here that is good for making your plans and having a little extra universal gift help you bring it together.
Yeah, I have a bunch of cards that kind of came out.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys can see it. Um, I don't know if I should turn off this freaking blur thing. Hold on. Because it's going to mess up. Let's see here. Virtual background. None.
interesting.
Okay.
So this is the 9 of coins. That's what I got for Aries.
Oh, okay. It's got a bird, it looks like.
It is. It's like it's antique prints of plants. And
Oh,
like
okay.
botany. Yeah. Think antique prints.
Girl, I think my eyes are going bad. I'm like, I have to get my glasses. Oh man. So nine of coins, right?
9 of coins is pretty good.
Yeah, and I have Wheel of Fortune, but it's in reverse. So and I have those other cards that I showed up earlier. Okay, so
Huh.
basically what I'm seeing is that there's something here that needs to end. So it could mean that maybe you're preparing yourself to be free or um, to be more independent. I see here also the King of Pentacles. So maybe this is in regards to work. It could be about family. And I'm also seeing like this Ten of Swords and the Nine of Cups. I just feel like Aries, maybe you're not happy that things maybe are coming to an end, or maybe you've come to acceptance that you're not happy that maybe you're the breadwinner of the family. Maybe you're working a lot, you're independent, but I feel that Aries, maybe you want a family. Maybe you want more of a cohesive um, situation. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what it seems like.
Well, and the whole relationship between Aries and Virgo is about making adjustments. So maybe this is financial adjustments.
Yeah, that could be it too. Because I see that Aries, you're working a lot, but you're not happy about it. Maybe, you know, your personal life is not where you want it to be. But yeah, I see a little bit of like little drinky drink action.
Yeah.
Like,
Take a little drink, take the edge off.
yeah, take that job. Like, yeah, trying to get the swords out of your back. Accepting like it is what it is. Kind of a vibe.
It might
So.
be a growing pain for Aries because, Aries is the first sign of the natural zodiac and represents children. So,
Mhm.
Aries quite often, they have to get kind of motivated to grow up, to grow out of something, or that it's the me first kind of energy, and sometimes some hard knocks with finances or relationships are the opportunity to mature.
Mm-hmm. I at bottom of the deck, I saw the Hermit, so I really feel that you're really thinking a lot, with this Virgo new moon, and maybe it's about being patient.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the patience to really go through this energy here, but um, yeah, just take it slow, like what Sunny said earlier, and then you will feel like you have enough time to sort things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Sounds good. Aries is kind of in a growing up, what do you call it? Growing pains. Growing pains.
Growing pains, yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, this Virgo new moon is rough, guys. Okay, I feel it. Sunny have felt it.
It's crazy.
I'm still feeling it. Like the whatever this freaking energy is, it's
I think going for a manicure today helped my grumpiness.
nerves.
Yeah, yeah. I've been kind of grumpy lately.
Yeah, I could have gone for one too, but I felt like I wrote my list.
Oh
I
yeah.
Yeah, I want to say 50% into it, but they're not complete, so that means I'm probably like 40%
Yeah.
done. But yeah.
I just wanted to hang out with my dogs and I did the basics. I got grass cut and laundry done. So there you go.
Hmm.
I wasn't a complete louse this weekend.
Yeah, I was actually working a lot. Oh man, Taurus.
Taurus.
So I have here the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Page of Pentacles.
Oh man, I have the High Priestess. Check out this card.
Oh, I like that.
I know.
High Priestess. What kind of flowers are those? Daisies or?
They could be daisies or an herb that looks like a daisy is I want to say chamomile.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I like those. Mhm.
Candula. It's another one that can be like that. But it's the skull, the all knowing, the keeper of all knowledge, the high
Mhm.
priestess.
So,
And let's see, we have Uranus still in Taurus and Jupiter. So Uranus, Taurus, and Jupiter can manifest money, um, and like somebody investing in you in a project. What have you got? You've got
I
Pentacle.
got, yeah, Page of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So, I'm getting a couple things. So, like you're talking more, like on the business side, like in terms of their work or career. With the Page of Pentacles, it could be like innovation or some sort of a birthing of an idea. But with the Knight of Cups, I really feel like Taurus, maybe you don't feel like your ideas are being received. Like maybe other people don't like your ideas or something, and that could be a part of like this new moon energy. Even though that you have these great ideas, it almost feels like rejection. But better than that is what I'm feeling. The other thing I'm also getting is that when it comes to love, you want to communicate to a particular person, maybe a text message or something. But yeah, you might be a little bit moody for whatever reason. Um, okay, so the thing is, bottom of the deck, I see here the Queen of Cups. So maybe the recipient or the person that you want to open up towards, like um, they're just not on the same sheet. Um,
And isn't the high priestess also connected to the mother and nurturance?
Mm-hmm. I really feel like this is like a love triangle situation that must be for somebody. So I feel like the high priestess is like, let's say, divine feminine energy, where the masculine is, or whoever this person is connected to their person's higher self. But there's this third party energy where it's keeping that person in a really bad mood. And all this person wants to do is message the high priestess, but because of the situation that's going on, um, they're not happy that they can't.
So Jupiter, what did I say? Jupiter.
I think you said Uranus.
Yeah, Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus. That's not fun either. Changeability. Um, Taurus is pretty slow moving, and Uranus there is like, you're not going to be slow. You're going to get some stuff done. Might not be on your terms.
Yeah, I mean, I see something here. It's something small, but it's not like the full coin.
Right.
Yeah, I really feel like Taurus, you don't feel very good. I see here, yeah, this has got to be like a three-party situation. There's this Queen of Cups and this Queen of Wands, both in reverse and the full. You just really feel like you can't really get out of a situation. I feel like I'm channeling like a married person or someone who's in a relationship, and like you feel like you want to get out of like whatever this financial burden is, and I really feel like you can't give towards this high priestess, which I see here in the reverse. So, and I see it here on Sunny's side in the upright position. So you really feel like you can't get over whoever this karmic person is, but more than anything, you want to give towards the right one. And that's what I'm seeing. So, I mean, you have a decision. Are you going to be stubborn and just think about it? Are you going to do something about it, Taurus?
Oh, let's see. In that Thomas Crown affair, there's a scene where she kind of lands on a party she wasn't invited to. She's the bounty hunter and he's the art thief. That's the dynamic between them.
Oh, it's like,
Yeah. And he's like, do you want to dance or do you want to dance?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Taurus is kind of like, just gonna kind of tiptoe around in the tulips, or are you gonna get serious and you know
Yeah, and I think that like you could take your time and think about it, but like if you're not happy, hey, what can we say?
well, and sometimes if it's something they're too slow to respond to, the universe will take care of that with Uranus.
Hmm. I did a reading. I think it was last week where it was I forget. It was about the path, and what the spiritual message was is that if you go too slow, you might miss the boat. If you go too fast, it's just too soon. You have to go at it like at the right pace. Um, so that was the message from last week's reading.
Yeah.
So I feel like, hey Taurus, if you didn't watch that, go ahead and watch last week's twin flame reading.
Yeah. Pace is an interesting concept, that's all about timelines collapsing and getting out of our own way.
You know what? The irony was there was a tree that was stuck in the path, and there was a lady and a man in a carriage. The woman was
Oh,
dressed in a blue, like a nice dress, but the man, he had suspenders on and he had an axe, and it was like, okay, so he sees the house at the end of the road. What is he going to do about it? Is he going to chop that wood and get right through it? Or, you know,
yeah.
and then here's the lady sitting here looking nice and pretty. And I think like the energy was is that the masculine feels obligated to sit with the karmic partner, but this ain't the time to be dilly dallying around with the energy. It's really time to make your list and go for it.
Yeah.
Like, or you're gonna miss the boat. Yeah, yeah,
Kind of that feeling like, you know, never wanting to feel like you didn't find out. Like, that's the motivation to communicate to someone about, how you feel, because years later, if you're sitting there thinking, well, I wonder if I had told them what I felt, what would have happened? You know what I mean? So it can be very hurtful to try to open the door with somebody that's not interested in you, but at least you know.
yeah. And plus, the more that it stings, the more you can kind of get over like the hurt um and
And you
learn
got
from
it
it.
off your chest. It's like having a thorn in your finger. You got
Yeah,
it.
because you could have been carrying that burden this whole time.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I saw this thing by a female counselor about fear and bravery. And I think it was a thing about single moms, how brave they are, but yet we all live to a certain degree in fear. But you have to do that in order to be brave, because we push through.
Hmm.
We push through the fear. So, if you have fear, you have bravery too.
Hmm. Yeah. Um,
All right. Let's see.
oh, you got your glasses. Look at that.
Let's see. I think this is the Five of Rods.
Okay. So, yeah, it has flowers. I see that.
I'm trying to get the light on it.
Yeah, I have the four of pentacles and the knight of swords in reverse.
So Gemini, man, you got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah. So, Gemini, you're feeling a little bit conflicted, but you're holding on to a situation. You're holding yourself back from communicating. So, maybe you're in your head about a situation. You don't know what to do. I'm also seeing here the Nine of Wands in reverse. I see you want to get out of a tricky situation, which is exactly what we were talking about before we pulled cards, right? It's like knowing when to, um, go through a difficult energy, like making a list and just going for it. So there's something here that you're not that needs some sort of closure. You need to end, and I feel like you're really closed off because you feel like um, you don't have everything in place. Like remember, it was about like the energy is about not having everything perfect
Yeah.
for this Virgo moon. So I feel like uh, Gemini, maybe you wanted to do something in a certain way, but it's not exactly what you want or where you want it to be. But I feel that you may be holding yourself back. What do you think?
Um, I feel like this is a lot of stress. Weren't your cards in reverse?
Yeah, the Knight of Swords is actually in reverse.
Like Gemini, that is ruled by Mercury. So this whole stationing direct and retrograde energy might have them feeling frustrated.
Like they're feeling confused since
Yeah.
Mercury went direct. So they're like, "What? Well, what is it? Are we going forward or backwards here?"
Right. Do
Uh,
I tell them or not? I feel like that's one of the conflicts Gemini is having.
mm-hmm.
Do I tell them or not?
Yeah, because I really feel like you want to get out of this energy. I see your Nine of Wands in
And
reverse.
that's kind of weird because I was just talking about, you don't want to be sitting there old wondering if you had told them whatever it was. Um,
Mhm.
you don't want to regret not telling something if it's on your heart.
Yeah,
And
speaking
that's where bravery comes in, because, you know, I don't know what the percentage of times is when it's that whole thing about tell your crush that you're crushing on them. And
mhm.
they could be like, oh, well, I have a crush on you too. Or they could be like, oh, well, I have a crush on Susie. You just never know, but it doesn't matter what they say. It's that you've spoken your truth.
Uh-huh. Like, I'm sorry, did you meet my wife? Your
Yeah,
what?
right.
Oh, I
Right.
didn't know you were that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't act married.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. You don't act married. And then, there's people, men and women, that it's safe for them to flirt with other people because, they're involved. They can play games and it not be any skin off their nose. When you don't have a partner, it's a little different in that you're kind of stepping out of your comfort zone to emote something towards someone.
Mhm.
I don't
I
know.
definitely do feel like with the programming and stuff that is on TV or wherever people are getting their stuff, their entertainment from, it does affect them because I'm not gonna lie. Every time I go to bed after watching something, I dream about it. But it actually isn't like, dealing with myself. And
Yeah.
it's really strange. It's like, wow, I just was watching TV last night and it was similar to that and I was dreaming like,
Has anyone else had strange dreams lately? That I've had some very weird, like they say, when you dream of like a building and lots of stuff going on in it, like that's you and all the stuff going on in you. And man, I had this like weird building, like it doesn't matter to go into all of it now, but there was just all kinds of these little vignettes and little interactions. And I woke up and I was like tired because I'd been busy all
even in your dreams.
night. You were hanging out with John Lennon. That's pretty cool. All right, Cancer. What is the Virgo full moon, new moon, excuse me, new moon mean for you?
I have here the Fool in reverse.
All right, we've got this looks like dogwood, and it is the Eight of Swords.
Hmm. In your head that something isn't over.
Hmm.
Waiting. I see you're waiting because maybe there's other people, or maybe you had a fight with someone recently. Something didn't gel too well, and I see you're watching. I don't know what you're watching, but I see that you're just maybe waiting for the time pass to get more or to let some steam cool down.
Cancer should be they should be practicing their cooking and uh, interest in homemaking. This would be a good way for them to pass the time. To me, this is like exasperated energy that needs to be directed into something. And Cancer loves to cook and feed people and maybe cook a meal for a sick neighbor or something. Or isn't little Luna a Cancer?
Yeah, but she ain't cooking for me. I cook for
Yeah.
her. Today she had broccoli and pork chop.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even have time to buy yams, but you
Oh,
should usually have yams. But yeah, yeah,
love yams.
Yeah, that's the go-to. I even eat them too while I'm cooking them.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah,
She loves her mother.
she does. I'm always on the computer. Are you okay? Why are you panting? She's smiling. I don't know if that's
And
a good sign or a bad sign. Like,
she's like, I love you, Mom.
okay, well, don't freak me out because like she's all okay. I guess she's just getting off on me rubbing her.
She wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, Lena. Anyway, yeah, that's what I have for Cancer. I just see that there's conflict, but yeah, if you can cook up a meal to get your mind off of whatever you feel like, especially if it's something negative, um, yeah,
Do something positive.
yeah, do something that will take your mind off of something here
Yeah.
because I see you're watching something and it's something that hasn't ended, and I'm also seeing that you don't want to cause any conflict, but you're being defensive all at the same time. So it's like you're on guard, but I don't know if the recipient even knows, but it's this attitude that I'm seeing that's coming through. That's it. So yeah, cookie something, Cancer.
Cranky. Get out of the
Cook,
cranky.
cook a meal. Shoot, I could use a dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, Vanessa says hi, Luna. Hi. Um, all right, next we have Leo. All right, so Leo.
Okay, this is an ace, I think. It is the ace of coins. That's nice.
Okay, I have judgment here in reverse, so I don't know. I mean, this is like um worried about what other people might think.
Worried about money.
Yeah, worried about money. Um, maybe about status or position. Maybe about being judged by other people. Um, oh, look, bottom of my deck, I have the same thing, Ace of
Oh,
Pentacles. So,
opportunity.
yeah, I see juggling here. So maybe there is like a little bit of a struggle, and but Leo, you see that something is coming towards you. You're gonna let go of like this idea of not having enough. You keep thinking about the past that you know what you want. You're gonna go after what you're gonna have, and that is gonna make you happy. So I see that you're going to go full forward with this energy, and you're gonna work. I see Leo's working hard. So that's the thing about manifestation. So, like let's say that you want you know to be well off, um, and you're not, and you catch yourself like being juggling because of X, Y, and Z. I really feel like if Leo, you can focus on the thing that you want, you're gonna manifest this thing faster because you know what you want and you know how to get it. And maybe you have to work on a project or get some let's say certification, but I see that it's going to come to you like quickly, like in the head, and I see that you're going to be really happy because
Yay.
you went towards the whole work situation that you're thinking of, and there's something here that doesn't make you feel happy from what I can see, but it's because you feel attached or you feel like there's something toxic about a situation, but you're just gonna bypass it.
Well, here's confirmation for you. I'm a Leo, and I've been doing all of my Medicare certifications lately.
Okay.
My little Medicare business has the potential to make good money when I put time into it. It's just the fall season, October to December. And the last couple of years, I sort of nurse it along, but I don't really try to,
Go full on.
yeah, do much into it. And this year, I'm like, I quit the retail part-time job because I was like, I need to put my energy into this. And so just confirming for you that I have been, the certifications that keep your license current are these agonizing online tests that aren't hard, but they are time consuming. And I have been doing that for 2 weeks. I'm pretty much done. I'm done what I have to do, but I was thinking I was going to do a few extra to be able to represent some extra companies this year.
Okay, well, it looks like if you go for it and you're kind of like laser focused on it, you're going to be happy.
I'm going to do that.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. Yeah, okay,
Good
great.
confirmation.
Next, we have Virgo.
For anyone that doesn't like to take tests, you would not like to do what I have been doing.
I don't like taking tests.
Oh, Virgo. Got popping cards here. All right. Seven of Rods.
It's Seven of Wands.
Seven of Rods. Some kind of lily there.
Looks like a daffodil. So,
Mhm. Seven of Rods. So isn't that like the survivor and setting boundaries?
yeah, they look like canoe, like boat paddles and
Do
stuff,
yeah.
or something that you get smacked with. Back.
Yeah. Club.
I remember the paddle at my old elementary school. It was really thick. It was a thick paddle, and I remember they used to like pat you on the butt if you were like a bad kid. But now it's like abuse. You know.
Hey,
Anyway.
thanks, Vanessa. Have a good night at work or good day at work.
Oh, did she say some?
She's off to work.
Oh, okay. Oh, she Pisces. Oh, we're getting to that. Okay. So Virgo, we have here King of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I feel like maybe you're being really cold, a little bit cut off. Um,
Me.
yeah. Um,
Seven of Rods. Been through it. Been pulled through a knothole. Tired.
I feel like you're just tired of talking to people, so you just don't talk at all. I feel like you've gone silent, and this is about like defending yourself, having to do so many things. It almost feels as if you're burnt out.
Ah,
Is
yeah.
what I'm seeing, and the bottom of the deck I see here the Chariot, so that's the Cancerian energy. I see that you're moving forward, and I see that you're communicating, but then you're not putting any effort. You're kind of moody right now. I see that you were kind of blocked off. A really blocked off energy from what I can see. This is about work or working with people, and you just feel like you can't do it anymore. So maybe like the people that you're working with, it's like maybe they're not listening to you. I don't know if you're being like this, like a dictator sort of thing, like controlling. But I see that you're going to learn how to balance yourself by pulling back this communication, and it's because you're disappointed. I feel like this is financial. Maybe you feel like you don't have all your ducks in a row, or you feel like you're less than someone else. So maybe that's you striving for perfectionism, and it's not. doing well with you. I see here your card, the Hermit, that's in reverse. You want to get out of like this energy, and I see that you will. Okay, but there are some people that you are fighting, and I feel like there's a female energy who is trying to get something out of you. And I feel like that's like a conflict of interest over there. And so, what you're doing to this person, you're just cutting them off. You're not talking to them. That's what it feels like.
Well,
Yeah.
I know there's a Virgo where I work that this week, for this weekend, was experiencing like lateral um, co-workers making the decision for a plan of action, and they were not happy with it. They
Yeah, I
were
totally see
going
that.
along, they were going along with it, but not crazy about it.
Right. Yeah, there's a conflict between a male energy and a female energy, and the female seems to want to get what they want, but this male energy, which I feel is the Virgo, the King of Swords in reverse, um, they're just like, I don't know, like being standoffish, like being kind of very, I want to say, arrogant or just cold, not non-communicative, nonverbal.
Yeah.
Um,
Going
and
along to get along.
yeah, and yeah, it is because some of a toxic situation, but all you have to do is just let go, Virgo. Like observe it and let go. It might be hard, but hey,
It'll be over soon.
join the club. This Virgo energy was rough. I already know. All right, so Libra is next.
Libra.
Okay, I have Five of Wands in reverse.
Ace of Rods. What all? There's all kinds of herbs in this picture. Echinacea, chives.
Oh, it looks like a perfume vase, but it's so weird. Oh,
It's
it's
a
that thing that pushes. I want to say
the
poison.
mortar and pestle.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Kind of looks like it.
it looks like that thing. You know how they push the freaking chemicals out, like you know. I don't know. That's what it looks like. But what
It's
is that card again?
it's an Ace of Rods,
Ace of. Oh, okay. Um,
and you've got five.
Five. Yeah, in reverse. So this is like getting out of conflict and just maybe moving forward. Like quick,
Maybe getting out of their own way.
yeah, quick energy. I see that you're not happy. You're not happy. Oh, this could be a home situation. So, um, maybe this is about okay. These are for some of my Libras. This isn't for everyone, but you have co-parenting with another individual. You guys are divorced, and I also see that you're having issues with the children. Maybe this is like passing off of kids, like on every other weekend situation. You're just not happy, but um, you're gonna go with it. Very similar to that Virgo energy.
This is a lot of activity going on.
Mm-hmm.
Busy,
Yeah,
social.
but it looks like not in this house. You know, not in the house of
Yeah.
whoever that they're dealing with. Maybe like maybe if they have the children, then maybe there's that happy times with the kids. But if it's Libra dropping off the kids with the other person, I feel like they could be embarking onto something more for themselves. Um,
Well, this is gifts of some sort.
well, I see that they're giving, but they're taking back. So,
Maybe things aren't happening fast enough.
like, this is to the Queen of Pentacles. That's why I really feel like this is a mother figure or a baby's mama. Somebody is receiving this, but they're not happy about giving, and it makes Libra feel unstable. Um, yeah, I feel like they have to travel to do this thing. Maybe they have to travel bridge or whatnot. They're not happy though. I see they're not happy, but they're doing the right thing. That's what I'm saying. It's
Taking
not.
responsibility.
Yeah, I really feel like I don't know. I'm getting like a co-parenting situation with Libra, but if that's not your thing, then maybe you're just enjoying yourself.
Maybe too much to do and not enough time.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, at least there's something there, Libra.
Now, I have a good friend that's Libra, and she's an older lady. And lately, her spirits have been pretty high,
Well, that's good.
high energy.
Well, then her kids are out the way, so she don't have to worry
Yes,
about
never
that.
had kids.
She's one of the ones where she's out there having a good old
Yeah.
time. All right, Scorpio.
Scorpio. The moon is in Scorpio right now.
Well, I don't know, but I have the Empress here in reverse.
All right. Well, I got two, so I'll take them both. This is the Nine of Rods and the 10 of Elixirs.
What's Ten of Elixirs?
10 of Elixirs. So rods, swords, coins. Um,
They look like coins. They could be coins.
okay, we've seen the rods, the coins, and the blades. Oh, so it would be the
Swords?
no, we've seen blades or swords.
Oh, water. Cups. Those are cups.
Cups, thank you.
Jesus, like I used to get in
I
late.
know, I know, I know. Brain dead.
Like, what are those? Like, oh, it's an elixir. What the?
Oh my God. So Scorpio, 10 of Elixir, 9 of Rods.
Mm.
10 of Cups, 9 of Rods. 10 of Cups, 9 of Rods. This still feels good. You got an upside down Empress.
Okay, let's look at your side. Ten of Cups is like being happy, but the Nine of Rods is like,
That
yeah,
it's over.
well, they're still hanging in there, but they have reason to be happy. However, on my side, um, things are not. So it's like on the outside, right? For Scorpio, because Scorpio is very secretive. On
Yeah,
the outside level, everything looks great, but deep down inside, they feel stuck.
kind of
But
upside down.
yeah, but I also see here at the bottom of my deck is this cup. So I see that they want to make an offer, but they're really conflicted and defensive. They feel that they need to reconcile, resolve a situation, and could be about emotional manipulation. I'm also saying that they're not happy for whatever that had happened. So the cup could mean like an apology of some sort, but they're afraid of what people might think and they're not happy. But I see that they're happy with whomever, right? They're very passionate and they know this, but they're really blocking themselves. So, uh, Scorpio, you have someone that you like, but it's like you're sending out a wrong signal, and I see that there's interest there. You want to cross that path, but you're trying to hold yourself back because you're afraid of what other people might think. So I really feel like Scorpio, you're in your head.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I also see that you really don't have anything to give, also, but you want to offer some sort of truth that you're trying to get over something, and it's about like maybe a lover that you're not interested in. So, so I feel like this is like a third party situation, wanting to get out of the distance between whoever that person is, but your ego is getting in the way. So, and that's why you're not talking to this person. So, so this is the thing. You have to really figure out what you want, okay, Scorpio. You can't like go back and forth about whatever. I mean, you could have something that's going on in your life. You know, like let's say you're married or you're already in a committed relationship, but there's someone else that you like. Now, you're giving mixed signals to the other person, is what I'm saying, but what's going on in your life? You know, are you like in alignment with whoever that you're dealing with? And if you don't love that person, then is it time? It's time to move on, right? So, are you fixed on this whole idea of what people might think, or is this what you think, or you're afraid of what other people might think of you? But yeah, so just think about it, write you a list, and make a choice because I don't know. You want to get out of this energy of like being in separation with a particular person, but you got to really make a choice. Like, what do you want? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what
Yeah. Some kind of completion too. The 9 and the 10. Some
mm-hmm.
cycle coming to the end.
I mean, Ten of Cups is like happily ever after, but you're kind of wounded about the whole
Yeah.
situation. Like, you have to like make a choice. Do you want those Ten of Cups?
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
not easy. It's not easy getting there, but you know, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Scorpio.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Sag. Actually, I should wait for. Oh, okay. Well, I got Death.
Let's see. What is this? Oh, interesting. Interesting. The Chariot. It's like two skulls, some roses.
Huh.
Isn't that a weird?
Mm-hmm. It's almost a Piscean type energy, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole yin yang. But you know, in the
Chariot.
traditional tarot, the horses are are being guided in two different directions by the chariot, but
Yeah.
the guy is supposed to like get them all in alignment so they can move
Yeah.
forward.
Well, Sagittarius might be going. Oh, what have you got? Death.
I got Death.
Hmm.
There's like some sort of change in regards
Fast.
to.
Maybe travel and movement.
And what is that again? I keep
A
getting confused.
chariot.
Chariot. So maybe it's time for you to move forward in a decision. And I see here like this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Um, there's something that you can't like give into anymore. And again, Nine of Wands energy, feeling like trapped or guarded, and there's fighting. This actually feels to me that someone here is in some sort of situation again, like it could be a marriage, it could be a relationship of some sort, but it's going to take you a bit of strength to say no. Like you're not giving in the situation. It's time for you to set those healthy boundaries with the Emperor. And I really feel like this is in regards to a home situation. So like you have to change a Sag. Okay, like I don't know what your living situationship is, like Uh, are you living with people who are so demanding of your time, focus, and energy? Are you allowing yourself to get used in that way? Um,
Or
because I see that,
or it's a new guy.
yeah, I just see that there's nothing there, and you're thinking that you want to give something, but you're in your head, and I feel like you just want a brand new start. So I'm not saying that you're trying to run away from your troubles.
I think it's balance, trying to find balance amidst a lot of chaos.
I see that there is something karmic that is happening in your life. It's been dragging on for way too long, and I'm also saying that it's up to you if you want that change, but you can't just like get up and go and do it. You have to really think things through, and really think about your future plans. You know, like you say, balance. Like, what is the balance moving forward? Like, what is the thing that is going to um, allow you to have that change? You can't just like like cut things off. You have to have like that thing, the balance, in order for them to really move forward. And like I feel like it's a collaborative effort, like that chariot card, because there's two people, at least two people involved in a situation, and I feel like maybe they need cooperation from that other individual. Let's say it's a karmic partner before they can move forward. But if you're just like yelling and saying I'm out, you haven't really completed that cycle with the karmic, is what I'm feeling. So you have to really
Right. I also always think about travel with Sag, and the chariot is movement. So maybe plan a trip.
plan a trip or move out or something.
Like, on the new moon, it's like, in fact, I said it earlier today to my boys. I was like, where are we going to explore next?
Hmm.
Take a little weekend excursion to explore another little corner of the universe somewhere. So maybe this would be good for Sag to make some plans for, well, it doesn't have to be an elaborate trip, just like a day trip even, or a weekend somewhere. Just
Or just
change
like
up the
down the
energy.
street where you haven't been before.
Yeah. I'm on this mission to explore places nearby where you can take dogs.
Oh, that's a good thing. I would do that here, but I'm just like too tired to like. I just go out around the block.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't be anything before probably spring, but we did that earlier in August and found this cool little inn with took dogs, and it was a neat little,
Oh, there was a training center that I saw like on the way 2 days ago or yesterday.
like a
It
dog
was
daycare thing.
no, it was a training
Oh,
center. I
classes.
forgot, it was like hoops something. I don't know. I don't know if it's a chain, but they do canine training and like other stuff for dogs in there. Like I don't know. And I passed by it. I was like, oh, that's fancy. I mean, it's in a nice like building on the corner,
Yeah.
the intersection. I was like, wow, they must be doing well.
We had a place here that had an indoor dog pool, swimming pool.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's places like that. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
So
Capricorn. What's going on with the new moon?
oh, Capricorn got a lot going on. Oh, I have strength.
Well, two cards came out, so I guess I'll use them, and they look really similar. Oops. Seven of coins and the five of coins. So that is a lot of work.
Hmm. Maybe you need the strength to work, 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 work.
Yeah,
That coffee ain't
yeah,
doing it.
that is. That sounds right.
You need
New
something stronger.
projects.
That looks like a potato. Should I be eating potatoes?
It's like anatomy, you know what I mean? It's like
Oh, okay. Is that a heart? Like I need to eat
skull
more
and
hearts.
a lot of hands and brain there, using
Yeah,
your
but
hands.
man,
Violets. Yeah. Very cool.
Let's see, 6, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles and 5 of Pentacles, right?
Yes. Yes.
7 and 5. So this is about the long term. Like maybe you need the strength to like endure. Like maybe things are like, you don't like where things are right now, but you know that you're thinking long term goals. Maybe you feel like you're not enough or you don't have enough, but you know that if you stick it out a little bit longer, then maybe you'll get your treasure trove, right? I also have here 2 of Wands in the bottom of the deck, so this is about making a decision about like the 10 of Pentacles. So again, I really feel like maybe you have to put in the extra work now. Like maybe you have to work hard now in order to get like that thing in the next, I don't know, 7 to 10 years, right? But I see that you're blocked off, and maybe you're being really like, I don't know. This is like, defending yourself in the workplace or something. And I,
Look at this at Chewbacca. Congratulations. She got a big commission with knitted purse straps and a store
oh,
bought 28 hats. That's great.
that's a lot.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's actually really good. And I need to get a few more things done for my brother's baby. Aw, that's
I'm
so
so
cute.
glad you do that. That's such a neat skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I said, it's the best hat that I ever had, and I've had many
Yeah,
gifts.
I ditto that. I concur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can bring out the little beanie
I was
at
going
the
to
end of the
say,
day.
we're getting into the cooler weather. We'll have to display Chewbacca's beanies here soon.
Yeah, I have mine. It's just I have to walk to get it. But yeah, I see work, work, work.
Capricorn is the workaholic.
Yeah, but I see that you're not gonna be giving into a situation because you're not clear. So maybe you have to put your foot down on certain situations where you're not going to give. It's like setting boundaries. It's like, okay, this is what I want. I know how to obtain it, but like anything else is extra and you're just going to say no to that.
Yes.
So you need the strength
Boundaries.
to say
Yes.
no. And then
Focus.
because I see that whatever you're doing, it's for a long period of time.
Yes.
So,
And making good money.
oh, she said the stress of getting it done is a bit challenging.
Challenging.
You need more machines. Get it done. Just saying. Okay. Next we have Aquarius. Oh, okay.
All righty. Let's see. Looks like we have some more cups.
I have, what is this? 5 of Cups in reverse.
I'm not sure what plant that is, but it's a 3 of Cups.
Oh yeah. Now it looks like liquor bottles.
They're elixirs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's kind of like a camellia.
I wouldn't know what those flowers are, but they look pretty.
3 of Cups. So emotional healing.
So maybe getting over like a past situation and I don't know, being happy. Maybe you actually made up with a person, Aquarius, like a past love. They came back and you guys are doing okay now. That's what it feels like. Um,
Feels good.
yeah, but right here I see Chariot in reverse. You feel like you shouldn't do it because you guys were used to fight. So maybe again it was like a love triangle, third party situation, and maybe you're afraid of communicating back to this person. But I see that you've made a decision that you're going to make a plan. So I don't know, Aquarius. Some of y'all are like how do I say this? Aquarius is like
Individual.
I don't know, not individual,
Unconventional.
tricky. Very like very much like a Gemini energy.
Well, they run hot and cold, like the
Yeah,
planet
like
Venus.
yeah, so that's what it seems like. And yeah,
Deeply
it's
sensitive, but come off detached.
harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, so maybe it's that hot and cold energy that I'm seeing here, because I see that you're trying to get out of like being in your head about this person like being a repeat offender is what I'm seeing. Um but it didn't really work out like maybe in the past, but I see that you're going to be working on it. You're going to try and let go of the past. So, I mean, I would say Aquarius, it's really up to you. I see the Three of Cups here. Don't look at the past. Look at the present moment. So this is true for anybody. For people who have been in relationships and you've been in a relationship with the person in the past, and obviously you have that to kind of fall back on because you don't want to make the same mistake over again. But what are the qualities that you see in your person that has changed? And, could you give them like more instead of like being so guarded? Because that could just mean that you'll never give this person a chance to prove themselves. But I just feel like Aquarius is overly cautious, and maybe you self sabotage a little bit. I don't know. But
This
I'm not saying that the person is 100% because I'm not seeing that also. So, you could be right.
well, and Three of Cups is sort of like that sisterhood bonding or brotherhood bonding. So
Hmm.
whether you're a male or female, this might be some camaraderie with close friends.
Hmm.
You feel safe.
Yeah,
That's
three. The good thing come in threes.
yeah.
At least we will say good, not bad things,
Good
right?
things come in elixir bottles.
Yeah. Name your poison.
Oh my goodness.
All
Your
right.
tinctures.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I seen some lady, a local lady, who's selling tinctures, and she's doing really well. And I'm like really curious because I think I might buy from her just to see how good it is.
Yeah.
But people are like raving about her tinctures. And I was like, wow, is it that good? Like, I don't
I
know.
think people have become more open to natural medicine.
Hmm. Well, I am. I just would like to know if she's using organic products, or is it just like, is she growing it? I don't know. Is she foraging it? You don't know what kind of chemicals are out there.
Who knows? Gotta just try to think positive. All right, I think this is, yeah, man, this is a lot of weird animals and the skull again and snakes. Three of coins.
Okay, I got the tower in reverse.
All right, Pisces. Let's see.
So maybe this is a work situation. Maybe you don't want something to let go of a work situation, is what it seems like, or um, something that
Three
you've been
of
working
coins. I see the snake. I think of Kundalini,
on. Mhm.
Kundalini rising. And is that an upside down tower that you've got?
Yeah, it's in reverse. So not being able to let go. It has something to do with two people here. Um, let's just say that Pisces, you're in a relationship that you're not able to let go because it's based off of financial stability. I hate to put it like that, but I see it. And I see here the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe you're waiting for 7 years,
Oh, goodness.
I know, right? You're in it for the long haul. Um, yeah, I see that you don't love this person. So again, I just feel like you're just with this person for money. And yeah, you feel attached. Look, the devil. It could be a Capricorn. I see you going back to this person. It could be an Aries. Maybe this person has like this thing over you. Because maybe it's this, you know, a little something on the
Yeah.
side.
Little something, something. Yeah, there you go.
Love and money, right? I don't know. I mean, if it's good, it's good. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but I saw that you weren't happy. You're just holding on to the money. I keep going back to the money,
Yeah.
but there's this maybe maybe you have an open relationship, Pisces. I don't know. That could be some people, not everybody's cup of tea, but maybe you guys are married and you're finding like these casual encounters on the side, but you're in a relationship with someone because you're financially tied. For others, this could be your significant other, and you have best of both worlds. But I don't know. I feel you're holding on to like something. Maybe you're not telling the other person. Mm. You're afraid of how people might judge you, but really you're like a cheap penny pincher. I mean, I don't want to put that.
Yeah. I
Um,
think that three of coins with the skull there might be like a really good idea for making more money or feeling more financially secure. There's some knowledge.
well, I know that my brother, he's going back to school and he changed his career path again. So instead of like being a nurse, he wants to be IT.
Well, that's kind of a different track.
Yeah. Well, it was what he wanted, what he was on when he was in his younger teens, like
Right.
20 years ago.
Oh God. We keep going 20 years ago. Well,
Yeah, this
Pisces,
was when he was like a teenager back in the day before he knew anything. But he knew IT stuff from my ex husband is how he got into it. But then he had a best friend, and you know how like boys are, they kind of vibe off of each other.
yeah.
Yeah, they fix stuff, and they try to like make things work, and so he's like getting back into it now. So.
I think
But
there's
he has a baby. He's in love with his wife, so I don't see that that's an issue. But I haven't talked to her and see what her thing is, and she's a Leo.
I think that there's definitely a financial opportunity for Pisces under the new moon.
Okay, well, as long as their energy is in the right direction, I feel like good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I see that there's some passion somewhere. Just
Whoa,
saying.
whoa.
But is it like multiple? I don't know. I see a married
Work,
couple.
is it like a passion for a work project? Maybe. Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
that could be it too. I mean, it can go a varied of ways, because this is a collective reading. But yeah, I see that. So that's good, Pisces.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving towards an Aries full moon, September 29th. And then as we get into the middle of October, we're in eclipse season. So,
What? When?
middle of, I think it's the first one is October 18th, I believe.
Oh, geez, they're
So,
just coming out.
yeah. So, what that means for us moving forward is a great deal of momentum. So Aries is, pioneer. It gets out in front. It does. It's movement. It's action. Eclipses are a great deal of gravitational pull and the intensity way more than a full moon. So I think our fall is going to be like fireworks and lots of opportunities presenting to people to make those changes or make the confirmation they are good as they are, but certainly the opportunity to jump on another track, like your brother changing his studies or whatever. Um, yeah.
Well, it sounds good. I mean, they can't get here any faster. That's a whole month from now.
I tell you, can you believe the year is almost over?
No, I mean, you called it though. Like, it's not going to be like, you know, glittery
Yeah.
at the end of the year. We're still going to like go through it until at least the first quarter of the
Yeah.
new year. So I
Yeah.
can't wait till next year. How about
We're
that?
getting better and better at handling difficult situations.
Yes, let's just hope that we get some breathing room,
Yeah.
so that we can enjoy the harvest, right? The
Right.
long, hard work that we've been doing on our journeys.
Yes. So be it.
Yeah, sounds good. So, does anybody have any questions? Did you hear her?
I do. She's protesting.
Listen,
She's my
honey,
mom.
come on. Don't give me. Does your dogs give you the effed up look? The grill, like,
Oh, the side eye.
no, not the side. She has like these weird facial expressions.
Oh, yeah. Makes my day to get a weird expression out of my
Oh,
animal.
she's got a million like human like facial expressions. It's the funniest thing, and she'll give me the most effed up face. Right,
She
honey?
wants your attention.
Yeah. Don't eat my hand. That's not food.
He's revved up.
I know. So, what are you doing? She's like in my chest. Like, that's not spaghetti, honey.
Fun to play.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't really play with her that much today.
Yeah. Luna, where's your dinosaur? Where's your dinosaur?
In the doggy, call it the doggy bin.
Mine's on the surgical table.
Yeah, ready for operation. I don't know if you want to
Oh,
salvage that thing.
I know. He pulled the stuffing all out of it.
I've seen horror stories about how animals they get choked up on that stuff and they have to do surgery.
All right. Chewbacca has a question.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let
How
me
about
see
the
here.
Mexican guy? I don't know who I should pay attention to or
Oh,
if.
not the Chinese one. God damn it.
Well, I think when there's any hesitation and you're asking that, I would go next. I would just say next.
Yeah, whoever you feel, honey. I did see that like when one of those live readings, it was going to be a dark guy with dark skin. But it's really up to you.
I don't know who I should pay attention to, or how about who pays attention to you and discern from there if they're worthy of your time.
Hmm. I don't know who I should pay attention or should I wait? Yeah, just use your intuition, Shabaka. I know, right?
I don't know. I feel like if I'm asking that question about two guys, should I pay attention to? But neither one of them has really intrigued me very much. So I would say wait for the Italian guy. I don't know. I don't know. Are you feeling international? I think your sound went off.
Yeah, I did because she was barking and making noises. So I was just looking at like this
I
little
wouldn't
short.
be wondering if they were neglecting. You've got two vying for you. I don't play multiple boards.
Well, you don't have to. Nobody's saying that. Just pick
Um,
one. But you don't have to pick any.
hmm. I guess whoever intrigues you the most is who I would pay attention to. Like who has the common hobbies or interests is who I would pay attention to.
Let me just pull some quick cards for
I don't play I kind of
Shabaka. Right, spirit can go some clear messages in regards to Shabaka, in regards to Mexican and Chinese. It's like, what do you want to eat? Mexican or Chinese?
I like both.
I know, right? Uh,
Well, then there's no reason why you can't give them each a little time.
okay. So Mexican guy, I see that. Oof, I need more. Okay, the outcome of the Mexican guy may not be like a forever, okay? Chinese guy.
I don't do that, Sonny. Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking friends.
Okay, I see the Chinese guy. Yeah, you might have a better outcome with the Chinese guy. I see that with the Mexican guy. You feel like it's um, almost destined, like like ooh,
Oh,
new chapter, But there's something you don't know. You
hmm.
really feel like you can go long term with this guy, and when it comes to like the equal exchange of give and take, um, you just you feel like you need to like let go because ultimately he's not going to give what you want, which is like a earth like energy. So in the end, I don't feel like you guys are going to mesh well. In the beginning, it's like that bubble phase. With the Chinese guy, we have like the world, like could be travel, obviously, different flavor over there. But I see temperance. You feel like you don't have the patience because you feel like, maybe it's not, you don't feel appreciated by the guy. It could be because he's Asian and they're not that open, but you will start to see that you actually work well with him and it feels more connected with that individual. So I say Chinese more than Mexican.
I
So it's up to
say
you.
fun activities to watch a person, how they treat others, how they react, and don't make any decisions till you've
Yeah,
had.
don't make any decisions now because I just pulled some cards. Really give it some time, at least a month or so.
Yeah,
And then, because you're not going to get the answer right away. You have to like spend more time with both of these individuals to know, like, okay, that's where that's going, you
like
know.
fun things, like outings, and I mean, I was seeing this
Yeah,
thing
more on a friend level, not,
where where people don't date anymore, and I'm like, well, we need to resurrect dating. I mean, and a purposeful, you know, I don't know why bowling keeps coming to my brain, but
oh, bowling's fun. I
an
like bowling.
activity, an activity that is fun and lighthearted, and you see how someone, like treats the cashier or treats you, and I don't know. It takes a long time to get to know somebody, so I would
Yeah,
say,
just because you meet someone, don't be in that whirlwind romance BS. Like, she's a Capricorn too, so take your time, honey.
bowling is fun, and I absolutely suck at it. Well, maybe
Yeah.
practice. Look, I dated a guy who was like from a long line of like champion bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't bowl either, but I went bowling with him a few times, and just the little pointers he gave me, it's like I've got a better bowling game. So
Bowling is great. Well, I mean, I can't say I'm really good at bowling. I have trophies and stuff, but I mean, I
you
don't.
do? You
Yeah.
have trophies from bowling? Whoa,
Well,
this
it's
is
because
something we didn't know.
yeah, my dad is a bowler and he taught me how to bowl. So I
Neat.
participated in the YABA. So yeah, I actually won some really big trophies. I don't have it with me anymore because I outgrown them, but yeah, they're fun. So when you like go to the line, you swing your arm and you thumbs up. and you do it in a really fluid motion, and you
Yes,
have to
follow
look.
through.
You have to look at the target, and then it's like dancing, like like that, and then you'll get it. You'll hit it like that, like boom.
Become one with the bowling ball
Or
hitting
it's
the
like shaking
pins.
hands with the pen. You're looking at it like, yes, my hand is going there. Kind of
Yes.
like, if you're doing golf and stuff, in the direction where it goes, and then you go in that, but you have to know what club you're using and stuff also.
Yes.
The bets with me at the alley are how many times I won't send it to the sides.
That's
Well,
it.
they have like bumper bowling where they hide the gutters and stuff, and
Where
you
they have the 10 pins, the little balls.
yeah.
Putt putt. Um, we had a place open up for archery here, which I thought was very
Oh
interesting.
yeah, I would love to do that. And that takes a lot of like
Yeah.
skill.
Dancing. You could go to a salsa dance thing.
Hmm. Well, I
Something.
guess the Mexican would work more now. I don't know about the Chinese. The gutters is what makes it hilarious. Yeah.
You'll have to keep us posted.
Yeah, spend more time with them and then get back to us on it and see what you think.
I think you're going to meet somebody else.
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, for the time being, she could like, spend more
Yeah.
time with one of those two choices but
So, yeah.
yes, ma'am, yes. You're welcome, honey.
Just take a break from all that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Capricorns especially.
Yes.
But yeah, so anybody else have some questions? One
Oh,
lives in your building and the other in Ontario. Mm. Okay, I know where that's going.
oh yeah. Knock 3 times.
No. Who is that? Oh,
Oh.
let me get something on. My hair's wet. Hold on.
Even Luna
And
like,
then you're trying to get there, like gargle or like brush your teeth real quick. Like shit. Okay. Or off. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat, honey.
just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your instincts.
Yes. So.
All right, then. Well, we have an Aries full moon, September 29th, and we'll put something together and just be here for each other to support through the whitewater rapids, is kind of what it feels like energetically, right?
And you just mentioned that, and that reminds me of the knock back in North Carolina. It's the
Oh, yeah.
Natchitoches Outdoor Center. Um,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go river rafting when I was there, but I never know anybody who likes to do those extreme, like outdoorsy sports, which is
I
safe.
would go to the zip line. There's a
Zip
couple of,
line.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's some here on the west coast, but like over on the Appalachian side, they have some nice zip line areas.
There's one here that goes through a zoo.
Oh, does it? Oh, that would be fun.
Zip line like through the giraffes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, go for it, honey. Just
Just
fly.
good advice. Yeah.
Oh,
You'll be
that's good. They pay attention. Wow. Well, we're living vicariously through Shabaka now.
I know.
Yeah, give us the scoop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool, Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Have fun and keep us posted.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's really different is that she moved into a city where she's with around more people. So, um, I think that made a difference because I remember she was complaining about being in the woods, isolated with no
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah,
So I'm like really happy for you, Shabaka.
I am too. The big
Big
city.
city. Yeah. So,
It's great.
mhm. Okay.
I'm gonna go let my little puppy dogs have a stretch, and I hope everybody's week starts out swimmingly.
Yes.
And
And I guess we'll see you guys later on the regular schedule, right? I don't know when is the next full moon.
the Friday, the 29th of September in Aries.
Wow,
Yeah,
time flies.
time is flying. Yes.
So that's the end of the week. Okay, so it's on the Friday. Hopefully we can make it this
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. We will. We
well
will.
actually, literally knock on wood, like
Yeah.
knock
This
3 times.
last couple of weeks has been a little challenging,
Well,
energetic.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was like one of those hard retrograde energies. Like it was
It
woo,
was. Yeah.
woo, woo.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh yeah, too
Yeah.
much going on.
We made it. We made it and we thrived and
Hmm.
just making us better for the next wave.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be good. So I'm
I think
excited.
so. Yeah. I thank you very much and thank everybody for joining and uh, we'll see you soon. I'm going to dash out here. Okay.
Okay, all right.
I'll
We'll see you next time.
see you later. Bye
All right,
bye.
bye bye.